Starter. Explicit. What does the word explicit mean? Use your thesaurus to find other words that mean the same thing, and then explain the word explicit in your own words. Explicit means implicit. So what does implicit mean? Again, use your thesaurus to find other words for the word implicit and then explain it in your own words. Implicit means... So, today's theme is on education, and the skills that we'll be developing today are identifying explicit and implicit information within the texts, and then being able to explain and comment on how the writers use language and structure, and above all to evaluate these texts critically. So the ILP targets for today are A01, A02 and A04. Refer to your ILP, your Individualized Learning Plan. So, comprehension, explicit information. Some questions for you to think about. Is the text narrated in the first or third person? And how do you know? Look at line 3. What slips from Jane's hand? Look at line 4. What does the word obtrusive mean? Look it up in the dictionary if you're not sure. Line 7. How is Jane described by Mr. Brocklehurst? List 2 adjectives. Lines 7 till 10. What types of punctuation are used? And think about the effects of the punctuation. Line 16. Identify an adjective. Identify 3 nouns and a simile. Again, think about the effects. Lines 20 to 22. What orders does Mr. Brocklehurst give? Lines 25 to 26. What colours does the writer use? And what are the effects of these colours? What do these colours suggest? Lines 28 to 29. What must the teachers do? Line 34. For how long must Jane be ignored? And think about the emotional impact that this will have on Jane. Next, comprehension, explicit information, The Guardian, from the 14th of April 2018. Is the text fiction or non-fiction? So think about the differences in the fiction and non-fiction texts. What is fiction and what makes a text non-fiction? Line 4. What is the type of punctuation used? And what are the effects? Lines 9 till 10. Why the no school trips? Would you like that? Line 17. Identify the simile and think about the effects of the simile. Line 19. Identify the simile and again think about the effects of the simile. Line 26. What do the bottom set find difficult? What do the bottom set find difficulty with? Line 29. What do the students know well? Line 36. What have some students never done? Line 37. What did one student feel he needed to do to feel safe? So, moving on AO2. Assessment Objective 2. For every explicit question asked, we as readers can find implicit meanings, which is what does it suggest. So we ask ourselves, why? Why did the writer use the first person, for example? Why were the exclamation marks used? Take each question and ask yourself, why? What was the writer's intention, and what effect does it have on you, the reader? AO4. AO4, the assessment objective 4, is discussing to what extent you agree with a certain statement. It's to get you think. It is to stimulate you to think about the text a bit more and explain why you have these opinions. Quote and explain clearly your thoughts. Use writer's techniques to help strengthen your argument.